Hello viewers, welcome to my channel IITJ Olympiads and AP Physics with Ambarish. And today I have brought to you a challenge from Pathfinder. This is the challenge your understanding, challenge number 3. And this can be classified either in the topic of elasticity or surface tension, depends on how you want to take it. So let me straight away get into the challenge. So the challenge is that we have an elastic film. An elastic film can be modeled as a square grid formed by very small springs of each of stiffness k. So this is a square grid here, and we can imagine the balloon rubber membrane to be made up of small springs like this. Okay, square grid like. Okay. So each spring has got a stiffness k, and we have to show that potential energy U of the film, if stretched uniformly and isotropically, can be given by U is equal to k under root of s minus s naught whole square. Okay, under root s minus under root s naught whole square. Here s naught is the area of unstretched film and s is the area of the stretched film. Okay. Now such an elastic film is used to fabricate a spherical balloon of radius r naught in a relaxed state. So we are using this type of a membrane, for making the balloons. So you can think that rubber of the balloon is made up of this type of material at the microscopic level. Okay, and that balloon has got radius r naught in the relaxed state. Okay, when we are not stretching it, it's just at atmospheric pressure outside and inside. We can think that the radius of the balloon is r naught. Okay, when there is no stretching at all. Okay, now we have to find the time dependence. We have to find the dependence of the air pressure inside the balloon when its radius becomes r. So when we inflate it from radius r naught to r, obviously there will be excess pressure inside, and we have to assume that there is vacuum outside the balloon. Okay, so what is the pressure inside, we have to find out if outside is vacuum. Okay, so if you want, you can pause the video now and you can try out this challenge. It's a very interesting challenge, and I believe that it's not that tough a challenge, although it's there in the challenge your understanding portion. So please do give it a try, and some of you will be able to get it in less than 5 minutes, I believe. So you give it a try and then you can have a look at my solution. I'll get into my analysis right now. Okay, so how do I visualize? So let the natural length of each spring be L naught. Okay, let's say each spring has got, this is L naught, every spring has got a natural length L naught. Okay, now consider a unit cell of the 2D lattice. So I can believe that this is made up of joining this type of square, this thing, small squares you join, and you can make the entire grid by joining this type of square. So this I am calling as the unit cell of the grid. Okay, now how many springs are there in this unit cell? So it sounds like chemistry, right? Solid state. Yes, but I am sure you are able to follow what I am trying to say. Okay, so how many springs are there in this unit cell? So you see, half of this spring, half of this spring, half of this spring, and half of this spring. So effectively there are 2 springs in the unit cell, right? So if we consider the unit cell of the 2D lattice of the springs, then in area of L naught by L naught, there are effectively 2 springs, right? So what is the number of springs in area S naught? So L naught by L naught contains 2 springs, so S naught area will contain S naught divided by L naught square, that is the scaled up area, right? So that's okay, number of unit cells in the S naught, right? So S naught by L naught square is the number of unit cells, and each unit cell has got 2 springs. Okay, so this is the number of springs in the area S naught. Okay, now if the area increases to S, what will happen? If you increase the area to S, then each spring will have to get stretched, because it's, the question says isotropically we are increasing the area. So that means what? Every spring will have the same amount of elongation, and let's say final length is L. So what will be the total stored energy? So U will be equal to half k into L minus L naught whole square, because this is the stretching. L naught was the natural length and L is the final length, so this is the stretching in each spring, and this is the stored energy in one spring, and then we have to multiply it by the total number of springs, right? And also by conservation of the number of springs, we can say that S naught by L naught square should be equal to S by L square, right? Because every spring is getting stretched, but the number of springs is same. So area divided by L square is the total number of springs. So S naught by L naught square is equal to S by L square, or you can say 2S naught, because each unit cell had 2 springs. So so we had said that N is 2S naught by L naught square, that's also equal to 2S by L square, right? So this gives us L is equal to L naught into under root of S by S naught. Just rearrange this equation and you'll get L is equal to L naught into under root of S by S naught, right? So now we just substitute this equation 4 and equation 3 into equation 2. So we can put L in terms of L naught, okay, L can be substituted in terms of L naught, and N can be put also in terms of this thing, S naught by L naught we can put, right? S naught by L naught square we can put. So just substituting this, so we get, instead of L I put L naught into root of S by S naught minus L naught, this comes as it is, and then N I have written as 2 S naught by L naught square, okay. Now I just need to simplify this. If you simplify this, so many things will get cancelled. The L naught square and this is whole square, L naught will get cancelled, and then this 2 will cancel with this 2, and finally this is what you get for the potential energy of the membrane, or you can say, okay, this is the final potential energy of the membrane when the area becomes S from S naught, okay. Now what I am trying to do is I am trying to relate it with surface tension, the excess pressure inside the balloon. I will try to relate with surface tension, and then I will need to find the equivalent surface tension or force per unit length, right? So that I can use, if I know the instantaneous surface tension, then I can simply say that inside pressure will be simply 2T by R. Here do not think that there are two sides, I mean there's only one rubber membrane, and it's not like in surface tension you have outer air liquid interface and inner liquid air interface. So just T by R1 plus T by R2, or gamma by R1 plus gamma by R2 I can use, but I need to find the instantaneous surface tension, equivalent instantaneous surface tension for this film. So you know that small change in surface energy is equal to surface tension times small change in area. So I can say that surface tension, I am representing that by gamma. So gamma is du by ds, and u I have already found out. So just you differentiate this with respect to S and you get the equivalent surface tension, right? So just simple, root S minus S naught whole square differentiated will give you, so this 2 will come down in differentiation, here's the 2, and root of S minus S naught comes as it is, and then you again have to differentiate root S, so this is 1 by 2 root S, and then you can take this root S inside the bracket and divide. So what you get, surface tension is K times 1 minus root of S naught by S, this 2 cancels with 2, and this root S becomes 1 divided here, and root S naught by S. So this is our equivalent surface tension, okay. Now also note that when we have a balloon, then the area is simply proportional to the square of the radius. So we can say that S naught by S is simply equal to R naught by R whole square, okay, or we can say that under root of S naught by S is simply R naught by R, okay. So that's what I can put. So instead of S naught by S I can put here root of S naught by S, I can put R naught by R, so then surface tension becomes this, okay. So now I have the surface tension. Now it's simple. Now I can use the Young Laplace equation for excess pressure. So excess pressure is gamma by R1 plus gamma by R2. I'm sure all of you have studied Young Laplace equation. If you haven't, please let me know in the comment box. I'll do a video on Young Laplace equation also. So now if I have a spherical balloon, then this radius of curvature is also R, and this radius of curvature is also R. So for spherical balloon, every radius of curvature is R. So excess pressure is simply, now let us say for spherical balloon, R1 is equal to R2 is equal to small r. So what is the excess pressure? That is 2 surface tension divided by 2 gamma by R, and this is what we have for the answer, okay. So today was a very hectic day, so I got a little late in posting the video, but I hope you liked this solution to the Pathfinder challenge your understanding problem 3 from properties of matter. And if you did like my analysis, please do give a thumbs up to my video, and please do share this video with as many friends as possible through WhatsApp groups or Telegram groups or Discord servers, so that my channel may grow. And that's the main motivation I have for making the video, that I can grow my channel and I can be appreciated by so many students. And I love you all so much, and please do subscribe to my channel if you have not already subscribed. Thanks a lot for watching this video. Please do keep coming back to watch more awesome videos. Thank you very much. God bless you.